Hi, it's Rob from the Bobsphere, and like I said, 2 videos in one day. We're going to focus on the 10th Booker book that I've read, and it is An Island by Karen Jennings. Now, I know everyone's been saying the same thing, and I'm good to say it too. Okay, this book is the only one that was published on a small press, not an indie, because Faber and Faber, there's one from Faber and Faber and one from Granta. Two from Faber and Faber actually, and one from Granta. Those are indies as well. I know big league indies, but they're still indies. This is a small press, and I love small presses. As you know, if you read my blog, I champion them a lot. Okay, so an island. I mean, usually with small presses, the amount they release in stores is limited. As soon as this was announced as part of the Longlist, the publisher ran out of the initial 500 copies. That's a good story. I mean, a small press always needs a boost. Okay, now let's get on with An Island. So, on Goodreads, someone intelligently pointed out he's called GY. I don't think he'd want me to say his nickname. He said he used the quote by John Donne, "No man is an island," and yeah, I think the cover really gives you a hint. I really enjoyed reading that, by the way. Okay, now about the book. So the book is about a man called Samuel. He lives on an island, and he basically has he has a routine. He goes out, he has chickens. There are these two guys, and they give him rejects from other countries, like video cassettes and things like that. He makes use of them. Very simple. Now, also, though, something which happens, but he takes it in a stride, is that lots of refugees stay on it, are washed up on his island, and they're usually dead. But he has his own burial ceremonies, etc., etc. So already you've got a little inclination of what direction this novel is going in. So it is a political one. Next, one day, there is a man who is half dead, and he's washed up on the island. And Samuel kind of takes pity on him, in a way, and he brings him to his house, where I wouldn't say nourishes him back to life. He gives him the essentials to live. Now, the fact that this is a struggling refugee kind of jolts Samuel back to his past, when he used to fight against the government. He fought for freedom. He was imprisoned because of it, but he still fought. He fought only to have a dictator called the Dictator to come up. And, well, a cycle of violence happened again. So political violence moves in circles. Now, I'm assuming, I said in my review, but he does mention it anyway, it's South Africa. So, and the island itself is an African one. That's one bit. It's also about racism, as you can guess. I mean, considering the fact the refugee is, he doesn't say he's black. He says his skin tone is different, which can mean anything. And let's see, you've got justice. I wouldn't say friend. This is definitely not a novel of friendship. So it's basically political, I would say, and it's about being on your own in an island. Can a person live on their own? Can they, or do they need others to survive? Does this man actually need this refugee that he put in his house? And then there's a little bit of twists and turns. So potentially, I should like this novel. True, there isn't any distinction between the past and the present. So you may be reading a paragraph and then boom, you're jolted back to Samuel's youth. Just like that. It is a bit jarring at first, but then you get used to it. So that's not my problem at all. I didn't mind that. What bothered me about the book was that it lacked something. It didn't feel full. I don't know. It didn't feel complete. Let's say if you take someone like, and this book is very similar, someone like Jim Coetzee, who also writes these little thin novels, but they feel complete. This didn't. It's like it just needed that extra. It's like when you have a dish. It tastes a bit bland. No, it tastes good, but if you put salt on it or pepper, then you're in a whole new world. Or chili flakes, put it that way. And it needed that. It needed that salt or pepper or chili flakes. Or take Damon Galgut as well, the early stuff like The Good Doctor or The Imposter. Again, there's a sinister vibe going through this, and she does it well. But, just needed a bit more, and this I would have loved to be shortlisted. But as it is, I don't think so. It is not a bad book, far from it. I did not hate reading this, but I felt a sort of want. And that's the only way I can describe that. So, that's The Island by Karen Jennings. Now, did you read it? Did you like it? What are your points? What's your views? Okay, so I am now finished with my Booker long list, at least the ones I have. I am waiting for 2 more. That's The Sweetness of Water and The Great Circle. Then Bewilderment will come later on in the middle of the month, maybe a bit later. And Booker long list 2021 is ready. To date, I have never ever managed to read the whole long list before the short list. It has never happened, not even once. But it doesn't matter, really. It doesn't matter at all. It's just the fun, I really like, for me, this is a highlight reading these 13 books and then discussing them and then debating them, and I wouldn't say arguments, seeing which ones we liked and what and seeing common themes. Yes, it's part of the fun. Anyway, I would say waffling. I'm waffling a little bit, so I'm going to end there. Till next time.